thinking recently about the labour because a couple of my friends are pregnant, which is really exciting, and one is like 6 months pregnant. My sister has got like 5 weeks to go, so yeah, I've just been thinking about it quite a lot recently, and now the dust has settled and the fog has cleared, I feel like I can reflect on my labour a bit more rationally than when just as soon as it, you know, after it had happened, and then I made a video, go Jenners on board. Okay, I don't just put my baby in front of the TV, I swear. Yeah, I made a video about my labour probably like 4 days or something after I gave birth. So, and then I made another video about the truths, you know, like, I don't know what it was, a couple of weeks after. So I think now I look back on it in a different light, because all of the probably more negative things like the pain and not the pain, but the way it felt has probably left my mind a little bit, and I can look at it more kind of rationally. So I thought it'd be interesting to do a little video about it and how I was feeling about it, because yeah, I just think when I was leading up to my labour, I was looking for videos of people's thoughts like post-labour. I think I look back on it now in a much more positive light. Obviously, it was wonderful because it's brought me the most amazing baby, and I didn't think of it negatively before, but it's pretty brutal and it's quite like full on. Well, I felt like mine was anyway. So yeah, it's hard for a few months after not just to think like, still think like that was mental. And I think naturally with all the hormones and stuff, you're kind of designed to forget about how hard it was or uncomfortable it was, because otherwise you'd just never have another baby again and then the world would stop turning. Yeah, I totally have another one. Whether I'd have one yet or not, I don't know, because I feel like physically I've only just got back to completely normal, and it is nice to know that everything is back to normal completely. But I'm nearly like 5 months postpartum, so it's taken this long, really, but it's fine. Like now I'm totally back to normal. I think if you were younger than me even, it would be even quicker. I presume like the age has a part to play in it, but anyway. So yeah, I had a natural home birth, no drugs, no interventions. It was quite a long one. But looking back on it, I think I would do a few things differently. So, number one, I didn't eat enough. I didn't expect the labour to be longer than 6 to 10 hours. I thought that was like, you know, that was as long as it was going to be, from contractions to actual birth. But it was longer than that, and I wasn't prepared in terms of like, I hadn't eaten basically properly for like 2 days because from when the contractions started. So by the time she came out, by the time I was pushing, I was exhausted and so hungry, and I had no energy. You know, a few days before the birth date, just load up on carbs, just get as much energy in as possible, and hydrate. I thought it'd be a good idea once my contractions started to celebrate with a glass of red wine, which was stupid because a few hours later I was spewing the red wine up in the toilet whilst having contractions. I felt like I did really well with physically leading up to my labour. I trained, I believe, a good amount. I did something every day. I was active every day, but I probably did a workout twice a week leading up to my labour, and that was literally just to keep my body moving. I was getting a bit of a sweat on, but it was 30 degrees at the time. really hot summer, and yeah, I was sweating basically all day, every day anyway, but I did the workout to kind of get my circulation going and get my heart rate up a little bit and just feel good about myself and just kind of ease my mind and all the stresses and stuff of the labour. So I'm really glad I did that, and I do feel like that helped with the length of my labour, me being so tired, and it was a real kind of marathon. So being fit and healthy definitely helped. A few people have said like, oh, maybe your labour was long because you had toned abs. I did not have toned abs by the time I gave birth, obviously, and I don't believe that made any difference to my womb contracting. That makes no difference at all. So don't worry if you're super lean and you've got abs and then you get pregnant. It's not going to make your labour longer. I've said this before, but I'm really happy I trained all the way through my pregnancy, and my labour and actually giving birth when I was fit and healthy helped my recovery. However, I strongly believe that these 6 weeks post-birth of just feeding, not really moving very much, you know, I was going on walks and stuff, I was staying active, but essentially pretty sedentary for 6 weeks, just making sure the baby is alive and growing, which is what you should do 100%. You shouldn't rush out and do exercise, but that 6 weeks for me was actually where I noticed my body affected more. My body was affected by that 6 weeks of not much moving than it was through the pregnancy and the actual birth. Would I have a home birth again? The big question. Yes, I would. Hang on a minute. Hi. She's still in her pajamas. It's Sunday and clocks went back, and so whatever. Would I have a home birth again? Yes, ideally I would like to know that the birth wouldn't be as long, but you can never tell, and probably will be shorter second time round, just because your body has already done it and whatever. Also, I'll probably know when the first contraction happens not to get super excited, and it could take a long time for things to actually get going. I would have a home birth again. I would opt for no drugs if possible again, and I would love a water birth, even though that one didn't really work this time. However, I think I'll be more relaxed about the option of drugs and the option of pain relief and going into hospital and stuff. And I kept saying, like, you know, if I need to, I will, but I really didn't want to. I really wanted to do it without pain relief and stuff. But now I've done it, now I've experienced it. Listen, there is nothing wrong with the way you choose to give birth. At the end of the day, you get your precious little baby. As long as they're healthy and they're okay and they're safe and you're okay through the birth, who cares however they come out? It does not matter. And believe me, I know a lot of people now who have given birth, and it's still just as a big an experience having a C-section than having a drug-free vaginal birth. I think I'll be a lot more relaxed about different options next time, and of course it depends how the pregnancy goes, but yeah, I would have a home birth again. I would like to have a water bath, a birth pool again. I don't know if Dom would like me to have a home birth again. I think he found the whole experience quite stressful. It sounds ridiculous because clearly the woman will be, you know, find it more stressful, but I think it was quite traumatic for the guy to watch. And there's something about being in a hospital that can make people feel more comforted in case anything happens, or, you know, the options are there of pain relief if you want that. But I know if I was in hospital when I was giving birth to Winter, if I was in hospital, if they'd have offered me drugs, I would have taken them 100%. if someone says like, this is going to help your pain, I would have taken it. But because I was at home and I knew that was my choice not to have them, I was okay with, yeah, it's weird. You're so in another world when you're going through the whole labour thing that making decisions is kind of impossible. So if someone said, what would you like? Would you like this? Would you like this pain? I would have just, you kind of need to make your decisions beforehand and then have a birth partner, I believe, to kind of help with those decisions so you don't have to do them there and then. But yeah, so I'm very happy with how the birth went in hindsight. Yes, it's hard work, but it's a bloody experience and I'm absolutely fine now. I'm all healed. I feel great. I'm totally ready to have another one in maybe like a year or something, or 2 or 3. And yeah, I would have the next one in hospital if I need to. I'll have them at home if I can. But whatever way they come out is the way they come out. There's absolutely nothing wrong with whatever choice you make. Nothing easier with a C-section. You've got more of a recovery. You still get the experience of having your baby and, you know, whatever. I know people that have had C-sections and still torn because you've gone through the pushing and stuff and then had to have a C-section. And so yeah, there's no like easy option basically. I personally don't think, not that I didn't have an epidural, but I don't necessarily think that an epidural means you have an easy birth. You still have to push, and then of course there's the kind of pushing with no sensation that might be harder. So yeah, birth is birth, and you just do it and you get through it and it's brilliant and you feel like absolute Wonder Woman and you get one of these. So if you're thinking about whether you want to do a home birth or not, just try and weigh up all the options and really think about what environment you will feel most comfortable in. If you feel like there will probably be a stage during your labour that you get a bit not scared, but you know, you suddenly feel quite out of control and you want to be in an environment where you feel safe and you feel happiest. If that's in hospital, because you know that there'll be people there to intervene if needs be, then make sure you go to hospital. If you feel like being at home is your most comfortable environment and you are comfortable and happy enough with the midwives there with you, then do that. I think that's what it comes down to, where you feel like you'll be most relaxed, if you can be relaxed in birth. Get yourself one of these, they're really fun. See you guys!